X'inhi l-opinjoni tiegħek dwar il-fatt li fuq PLE se tkonna 5 matches biss?
It makes sense. Less is more. Give more quality than quantity matches. Because if you're gonna, it's like, I mean, I don't want to mention another company, but they have a habit of putting loads of matches and they don't deliver. They'll have a few high spots here and there, but what's the point?
Yo, xanna guys, merba l-episodju ieħor ta' One Fall. Jiena ħames u l-lum ġajt qiegħed mal-ħabib tiegħi Dawd Khan. Kif aħna Dawd?
It's all good. I'm back because obviously by popular demand.
Estra morna tajjeb.
There was actually some comments, some on the social platforms. It was nice. Obviously, star power, but it is what it is. That's how we roll, you know what I'm saying?
That's how you roll mid-dera. L-lum ħanikkaverjaw mainly bash in Berlin, ħanitkellmu kol fuq Raw SmackDown ta' qabel, Bradley sfortunatament għadu mux maħna dakka infatti għadu l-Ġermani għax marjar bash in Berlin live.
Live, man, he should be here talking to us about this.
Iva. Vassa l-ġimgħa d-dieħla ma nirċievu naqra inside information.
Yeah, true, and you saw what Bradley did, who he met.
Mela, l-taqa ma' Gunther, champion.
He gave us a shout out. Thanks, Top G.
Gunther, we hear your shout out, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nasab ċert li qed jara da Gunther bil-qiegħda
jixrob kafe. To-do list.
Jien ta' fajara naqa' One Fall mal-mara bil-relax. Allura, guys, ejja nibdew. Qabel ma nibdew nirringrazzjaw lil Connecti Club tal-li offruna dal-posta bieħa hawnhekk, il-Ford Fitness tal-li offrewna li għajkonna xi giveaways għalikom dal-waqt.
I went to Ford Fitness last week.
Yeah. X'taħseb minn Ford Fitness?
Oh, you mean the gym-wise? I mean the gym, yeah, they have nice equipment and stuff, but I saw some other people working there.
Il-ħaddiema ġifieri vera.
Working out there.
Xaħer nibdew, bro.
All right.
Mela, aħna bdejna bro, bdejna bi-promo tal-Judgment Day, Dominic innotajt illi issa u dejjem kellu kif taqbad tgħid, dik il-catchphrase tiegħu illi kienet tikkawżalu xebba ħid meta kien isemmi l-missieru kien jgħidlu my dead beat dead. Issa qisu sit tag along magħha. L-aħħar darba nhar it-tnejn qala I'll live does things for me that Rhea has never done. U l-buż li qala once li qal dik l-istess livell ta' dead be dead. Ġifieri diġà kien ultra heel bħabba li ġara ma' missieru u rnexxielu b'xi mod jeqleb heel waqt li kien għadu heel.
That's a good skill. Like just to elevate your heelness. Like dude knows what he's doing.
For sure. U mbagħad interrompuh l-LWO u rġajna morna lura għal Ray versus Dom imma ma nafx inti Dawd imma jiena qatt ma nixba nara.
No, the thing is that they had a good feud when it originated and the way it concluded was good as well, but but there's always that possibility like going on and off between LWO and Judgment Day. That'll always happen. It will continue to happen for sure, but we don't want to see Dominic and his dad in the ring again because it's seen, it's done, dusted, let's move forward. But if you look into the storyline of how Dominic and Liv are going through, because they stabbed Rhea and Damien Priest in the back and all that, so it kind of makes sense to bring that deadbeat dad kind of thing situation, like for purposes of like this I'm better than you kind of thing. In fact, like the two encounters, including last Monday, if I'm not mistaken, when Dom faced off Ray, Dom's getting the wins over them, but it's also because of the assistance of Morgan.
Mhux hekk diki mbagħad l-istorja li meta kien taħt jew meta kien qiegħed ma' Rhea dejjem Ray beda jerbaħlu, issa li qiegħed ma' Liv qed jibda jerbaħ Dominic. Allura qishom żiedu elementi ieħor tal-istorja bej Liv u Rhea bis-saħħa ta' Dom u Ray. Bat wara kellna 8-man tag match, vera tajba, vera high-paced, high-flying, lucha style. Kien hemm dik l-spot tal-erba' suicide dives,
Yep.
illi kienet vera unika, jena
Yeah,
jgħidu hekk. Kellhom
exciting, yeah.
dik l-angolu hemmhekk minn vera kienet maħduma tajba. Salvaw lil-Ray wara l-match Terror Twins mbagħad Rhea u Damien Priest biex ikomplu l-build-up għal-match tagħhom ta' Bash in Berlin. Ħaġa oħra li notajt waqt Raw kien hemm backstage segment bej Kofi u Xavier Woods. Kofi kien lebes l-aħdar u Xavier lebes l-iswed.
Black's in good fashion.
Ma Xavier Woods, New Day dejjem koloriti jilbsu.
True.
X'kien qabad jibles l-iswed f'daqqa waħda Xavier Woods.
Maybe his wife didn't pack his clothes?
Jimma I wouldn't blame his wife, bro. Jien naħseb
Okay,
xi
his
ħaġa.
husband? I don't know.
Issa ma nafx għandu Xavier Woods imma jien naħseb li din hija kollha biex tipprova turi ta' tinaqra foreshadowing għal
Okay.
potential heel turn ta' Xavier Woods.
The thing is, like, New Day's been around for like 10 plus years, right? To have them go separately in that manner makes no sense, in any manner. And the thing is, like, it's like, I forgot this tag team in the past where there was a tag team they were doing so well, but they're like, after they accomplished all they had to go separate ways. So why just, and, go forward like that? Because New Day will always be a faction that has done good for the business, like financially, merch-wise, and longevity. For them to just change it on the random, you're going to lose a lot of momentum and, in business point of view, a lot of finances as well.
Ifew naħseb qed jużaw wkoll biex jelevaw lil lil Odyssey Jones
Yes.
u lil Karrion Cross.
It's
Għax qisu ħabba l-influenza tiegħu qed jiġri da kollu.
The thing is that Woods, he needs a solo run. Like when he had that push for the King of the Ring, when he won it, like he was doing a great job. And even though Kofi was on the sides supporting him, there wasn't that interferences from him. Like Woods was doing a good job till he got into like the fighting status with Roman Reigns as well, because that was a good outcome as well. I really wish they pushed Woods a bit further, like when there was the point they tried to push Montez Ford at one point, but then for some reason it stopped. It's like there are certain characters who are in tag team and in factions that have the ability as an in-ring performer and on the microphone. But sometimes they give them one match here or there against a top name, but then all of a sudden it stops.
Iktar isom ma jkunux jafu jaqbdewhom bihom.
It's true. It's like for the time being, it's like there's not much there. But with New Day, you gotta give them a push. I mean, Big E had the world title. Kofi had Kofi Mania. Give something to Woods. I mean, he needs to go solo at least one time.
Naħseb tagħmel sens ukoll biex biddel naqra s-sejlhom qed ngħidu 10 snin in New Day. Naħseb sar il-ħin biex jippruvaw xi ħaġa differenti naħseb.
Exactly.
Issa naraw se jagħmlu biha forsi l-ġimgħa d-dieħla wara biex ikomplu dil-istorja pjuttost interessanti. Kien hemm vinjett ta' Bo Dallas li vera rajtu interessanti kienet biex tibbildja il-match tiegħu kontra Chad Gable fil-main event. Il-kwota li vera laqtitni qalilhom this is more than a reckoning. This is a purge. Purge ġifieri ħajneħħih he's going to take him out of the picture completely ġifieri.
The draft is coming, so he might move to SmackDown.
Jista' jkun ukoll. Mbagħad fl-aħħar kellna l-main event fejn jien fl-opinjoni tiegħi inti kellek opinjoni pjuttost kontroversjali, però kellek ħafna nies li qablu miegħek ukoll. Jien ma nafx nifmu l-punt tiegħek fejn illi it's a nostalgia act, illi they are giving tribute to the fallen soldiers in a way. Però ma narajx bħala ħaġa ħażina, to be honest. Jien nara li jisu qed ikompli l-legacy ta' Bray Wyatt. Qed jipprova kemm jiflaħu to live up to that standard.
But he can't. I mean,
Ma
he
jista'
has
jagħmel xi ħaġa simili tagħha.
Because the thing is, like, we're talking about the guy who went from believe to, Wyatt 6. And the things like that. Okay, and he had that thing with what's the other guy's name when there was a Mr. Raj. I believe one of his Bodal's best works in the main roster was the Mr. Raj.
Alright.
Because Miz helped get him elevated. Then obviously he got fired because of COVID and all that. For him to come back and to step up in his brother's shadow, it's not good. It's good for 5 minutes, but you have to become your own identity. So there was a couple of comments that said like the best way to move forward would be to separate them into 2 factions to go into different brands to continue the name. Who are you going to separate them with? How are you gonna separate them?
Ma naqbilx li għandek tisseparhom. Jien kikunti għana iktar chance to play it out. Ma nafx kemm kienet idea tajba li imorru kontra Gable għall-ewwel, kien hemm komment infatti kien qal overaqbilt miegħu illi Gable kellu momentum qawwi bħala heel u issa he's just being served up to the Wyatts. Naħseb illi forsi qed jagħmlu hekk biex Gable kontra Otis jistenna wara WrestleMania biex jagħmluha, so isom they're buying time għalissa. Unbat jerġgħu morru lura li forsi fi żmien Royal Rumble.
The thing is, when I look at Chad Gable, and then he was being mixed up with the Creed brothers, I always thought of 2003 Kurt Angle and self-proclaimed, Team Angle, self-proclaimed tag team of the world. You Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, was it? Yeah. Like, that was a good angle going forward. And I believe that if they do that with Chad Gable, because let's be honest, him as a solo wrestler, he's good. He's really good. He should be pushed in the title scenes. The Creed brothers, they're very strong. I believe the future is very bright for them. But for them to have a good start together like this against White 6, it beats what they've worked for.
Eżatt, it kind of cheapens them.
But again, it could be a possibility right now they're jobbing to them only to be drafted to SmackDown. Because to be honest, SmackDown does need a bit of new blood into it. No pun intended. But then again, we're also forgetting about the Lucha brothers who are signing with WWE.
Xettej taħseb illi jmorru kontra il-Creed Brothers?
I think what will happen is Creed brothers with Chad Gable will move to SmackDown. And if Lucha brothers actually do manage to sign in time, they will probably join Raw.
All right.
Because there's a lot of tag teams missing in Raw as well.
Could be. Ma nafx, ma nħoss jiena l-inqas from a fan's point of view, I'm enjoying the Wyatt 6 as it is. Qed jagħti ħafna tributes għal Bray Wyatt, iżifna eżempju miegħu waqt jkun fir-ring, meta jinżel lura, il-jejeje ta' Luke Harper. Anka d-diska vera nara fitting istra.
Everything fits.
Die for me brother, love one another, tipo vera kien għażilha Bray, imma qisu tgħid kien jaf tgħid illi kellu xi ħaġa istra. Għax qisha vera fitting, man.
It is. I mean, those are questions that we cannot answer.
Le, żgur, nispekulaw biss nistgħu. Ħaġa oħra li ma nistgħux ma nsemmux minn fuq Raw, Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. Where did this match come from, man?
I mean, don't forget, like, Strowman made the save against Bronson last.
Le, fair enough. They built up to the match, imma like, filli għallex, all right, il-match infisaw diġà crazy, għedin jamlu mossi ta' luchadors huma. Fihom għallex dax container għallex tal-Freeport, men. Umbat tarom għallex sejrin lura, backstage, għallex iwadbu ġo l-karozza jilħor jislajdja, għallex daw it-nej li huma fihom għallex 300 kilo l-wieħed ta'.
It goes to show that size is in everything, and they're big boys, big men, monsters, and they can be as elevated as anyone else, like Keith Lee was once upon a time. Mela. I kind of miss Keith Lee in WWE, to be honest. Well, in NXT. What he was at that time of Vince was horrible in Raw.
A lot of things were horrible during Vince's time, though. Thank God for Triple H, ħanajdu, għallu ma nsemmux dik il-ħaġa l-oħra. But nimxu għal SmackDown Kenna l-Open Challenge ta' LA Knight, aħna konna minn għalina li ħajkun fuq bex, imma sfortunatament tkellhom jitfgħu lura fuq SmackDown. X'inhi l-opinjoni tiegħek dwar il-fatt li fuq PLE se tikonna 5 matches biss?
It makes sense. Less is more. Give more quality than quantity matches. Because if you're gonna, it's like, I mean, I don't want to mention another company, but they have a habit of putting loads of matches and they don't deliver. They'll have a few high spots here and there, but what's the point?
Mhux hekk.
For example, like WWE, what they're doing as of late, maybe 5, maximum 6 matches, you'll see. But they all deliver.
Mhux hekk.
And none of them are short.
Le, jien naqbel ukoll speċjalment għal PLE, one, it makes the matches seem more important. Ittihom iktar ċans biex jagħmlu storytelling u kollox, insomma ma jkunux għalfejn jirraxxjaw.
Exactly.
U anka fimni l-matches l-oħrajn orrajt tgħid LA Knight ħasra għaliex ma kienx fuq PLE, ma fl-istess ħin kif taqbad tgħid.
I mean, right now he doesn't have a story. He had something going on with Escobar, but that finished last week, so it kind of makes sense. It's like he went to Germany, SmackDown, he had an open challenge. That went, I mean, obviously against Kaiser in Germany, makes sense. So that means that going forward, new challenges, new matches, more hype. Let's see what will happen with that.
Issa naraw, kif qed tintaħareġ Ludwig Kaiser over ħafna mal-fans Ġermaniżi ovvjament semma xi ħaġa interessanti għal jekk nirbaħ I will turn it into the European Championship.
I remember hearing that, but there are more Europeans now in WWE, and they are bringing wrestling, as it should be, back. But do we need another title? For example, like, okay, there was talk of a mid-table title for women's. They're testing the waters with the, I believe it's the NXT North American title for women, if I'm not mistaken. The NXT is a small brand. It's still popular worldwide. It's still a small brand. You don't need so many titles. What you gonna have next? The best fart title, the best eyebrow title, the best eyelashes, the best corner from around the street corner. I don't know, and a belt for everything.
The best fart title għalik.
No, wait, don't forget, like when WCW was taken over by WWE, right? There were so many titles going around. Lightweight this, lightweight cruiserweight that, stuff like that. Junior this, senior that. World Tag Team Champions and World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Like so many titles going around. There were so many unifications. Like you don't need a European title. What? And okay, so if American wins it, is that okay? So when the USR is won by Europeans, is that okay? Because we don't want to cross into a certain, like.
Dak ikollu jbiddel il-passaport naħseb imbagħad u jrid jiġi għalli jew. Ġifieri jekk terbaħ il-US title għandek viża. Flok tapplika l-green card.
I mean.
Għandek mod ieħor istra kif issir ċittadin tal-Amerika istra.
Alaska Latina.
Issa saqsi. Nħallu fidejk. Kien hemm x'ismu Karrion Cross infatti kien semma fuq Twitter għadda suggestion biex jieħolqu tipo Extreme Rules Championship. Jisu simili tal-hardcore. Ma kieku għal-hardcore ma nafx istrax kemm il-darba provaw jisom qatt ma qabdet.
The thing is that when you talk about hardcore matches, right? You have to keep one thing in mind that these are commercialized hardcore matches in big companies. Not like how ECW was back in the late 90s, right? ECW didn't have sponsors to deal with, like big name sponsors or like a heavy company, board of directors to deal with. ECW was ran by Paul Heyman, who knew what he was doing. And the Asylum matches were being run by the lunatics. And they gave hardcore what it is today. And those things have been influencing wrestling today as well. Now, for a corporate company, because at the end of the day, wrestling is corporate made because of big companies. For them to have certain matches, it cannot go in that direction. Because, for example, let's say there's this company, the Backyard Wrestling. That's hardcore, but it's hardcore to a very extreme. Right? Like even there was CCW. I never really enjoyed watching CCW because, don't get me wrong, I enjoy gimmick matches. But I don't want to see something too much of, because then it becomes boring.
Un bat titlef il-meaning tagħha
Exactly.
mbagħad.
And what I did like as of late was WWE, for example, the cruiserweight. They tried it with the 306 live. Okay, it worked, it didn't work, whatever. But then they made the cruiserweight thing into
205 live.
a 205. Oh, yeah.
306 men, Bronson Reed.
Oh, okay. So, but the thing is like,
Aw! Maġna jagħmlu l-opposta Cruiserweight Championship. I mean, hemm Heavyweight Championship. Imma ikollok division. Heavyweight Division. Hemm Heavyweight Division, imma toqgħod hemm il-Heavyweight Championship, imma ġust tal-isem qisha qiegħda.
Exactly.
Immaġina jkollok division just nies bħal Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman.
oh, so you want to say,
Meat division, laħam division.
so the fat people. You want to aim for the fat people. That,
Not
why would you
necessarily
do
fat.
that, man? That's just wrong in so many levels.
necessarily fat, just meaty.
So chubby,
Laħam,
husky,
meat,
Okay.
steak.
fluffy.
Le, fluffy mhux jibes, man. Meat, laħam.
Well, there are 5 or 6 stages of fatness according to Iglesias.
Aha.
Big, husky, healthy, damn, and something else.
Husky Health mhux le, Husky Harris. Anyway,
Okay.
wara dik kellna l-street fight ukoll fuq SmackDown ta' Michin u Nia Jax.
Thank God it wasn't SmackDown.
Iva, ma tantx kont looking forward għalija di, to be honest. Ma nafx, men, jisom it-nej li huma kultant, jisom they kind of phone it in.
Yeah.
Jisom jamlu l-affarijiet naqra hekk, jisom ta' bil-fors.
The thing is like, okay, it does sound a bit biased from my end, but I'm not that keen on Nia Jax as a wrestler because, like I said, for me she's Miss Botchmania. So I try to watch a bit of it, but when she takes control of the match, it just turns me off, man. I don't want to watch that.
I mean, għanda look, imma sadik bissa għanda. U Michin, again, għanda look, imma ma nafx, ma tantxin konvint. ħafna nisa fuq NXT li huma ħafna iktar
The blondes.
aħjar minnu.
Blondes.
Intu l-Beyond the Men, ma nafx għandkom. Ma nafx għandkom. Għert nsemmu l-Beyond, ħarġet Tiffany, mbagħad kienet ħatamel isa fake cash-in u mbagħad Michin waqfitha insomma. Le, actually, l-ewwel kienet ħatamel il-cash-in. Nia Jax ħarset waħda leha u isa bdiet tibża, allura isa nkomplew dik l-istorja tal-cash-in. U r-retornat Bailey wara xar, ila xar, sepp ma minn SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
Ġit lura Bailey so issa naraw fuq SmackDown kif ħad kompli din l-istorja. Imma issa ħanimxu għal Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
Ja!
Yeah.
Kenna Cody Rhodes kontra Kevin Owens biex nibdew ix-show.
That was a good start. It's like they started the event with that match. It's like to bring the intensity, have people focus. It was too good.
Le, ħafna kienet tajba. Mela, leading up l-istorja kienet illi Kevin Owens kienet jgħid illi Cody weġġar koptu waqt il-European Tour. Cody qal illi l-koptu kienet għada tajba. Lej l-axħar tal-match, l-inni fallitu l-Cody u Kevin kellu naqra dilemma jekk għandux ikompli attakka jew tipo jħenna għal sieħbu. Illi mbagħad fl-aħħar mill-aħħar kienet dik illi bis-saħħa tagħha dik spiċċat ilha fil-match.
It's true. I mean, when I saw it, I'm like, okay, he's gotta go for it. But then, they made him they portrayed him as a good friend. Listen, I get that. But then again, you're fighting for the world title, right? Okay. And he did mention this in SmackDown that if he were to win, he doesn't want it to be a tainted victory. But at the end of the day, it's like what the Standard did against you and your boy. A win is a win. Okay? So, yeah, a win is a win. So Kevin Owens, if he had gone for the leg, tainted or not, forget it. But he had the opportunity to put him in a figure 4 or something. He didn't even hit him with the apron powerbomb because he's his friend. Okay, maybe not end his career or something like that, but again.
Terbaħ il-match, u għet t-ġila titlu.
He hasn't been a singles champion for 7 years, and this is being mentioned over and over again in the pay-per-view. So maybe the heel turns around the corner.
Jien naħseb dil-istorja għadna ma rajnix.
No, far from over. There were certain things concluded in this event, but that is not one of them.
Le, zgur. ħaġa li jukoll il-notajt il-psikoloġija ta' waqt il-match illi Cody kienet imura l-ċertu mossi, speċjalment li l-bidu tal-match. U kif Owens beda dejjem jirreversjom, dejjem ikun jaf il-li ġejja, Infatti il-Cody Cutter, jidir li l-Cody Cutter kienet illi kien mara li once illi disaster kick kien mara li meta Kevin imbuttaħ għax Kevin kien ħajmur għal-pop-up powerbomb.
Yes.
U ġifiri irnexxu lu jagħmilha just għax kienet reversal ta' xi ħaġa ta' Kevin Owens, mhux meta ħajmur għalija illi daw naqa' dettalji żgħar huma differenza bejn just spot fest and an actual pro wrestling match. Actually għandek psikoloġija.
Spot fest, is that a dig at someone?
It's not a dig at anyone in particular, it's a dig at wrestlers who do spot fest. Xed tipprova.
No, another company in America.
Dawk ta' Tony,
Yeah, indeed.
Bdix jisemmi l-Tony, inti terġa ta'?
Wow, it's a good pronoun for calling you jabroni, Tony.
Mo.
Go on.
ħaġa li vera mhux bitnix istra minn dik il-match illi Kevin Owens għala ġiex crossroads wara xulxin, u bad ġes mar jagħmel l-istaner. Illi tipo ma tgħidx għamel finisher waħda taħu jagħmlu tnej men.
I felt the build-up to the finish was really good, but the finish wasn't, so it just felt bland.
Kienet naqa flat
Exactly, it felt flat. But overall, I rate the match, like a good 8 out of 10.
Ma nibdewx bil-match ratings ta' isna Dave Meltzer, aħna nibdew bl-istilet, intom l-istilel.
3.5
Isnadim fil-primarja u għandik star. Prosit, star.
Don't touch what you can't afford, right, my friend? Asma, hey. One phone call, ta.
Issa ċempel. Bla service għad ispiċċa. Imma il-punt taħad il-match huwa li issa Kevin Owens actually għandu raġuni valida biex jaqleb heel. Għax he tried being the nice guy u fejġa bitu. Ġifiri.
Like every other guy to a woman. Getting dumped.
Wow. Don't trauma dump over the audience, bro.
Dumped?
Dump. Nimxu għal-match li mislaħu. But kenna women's tag team titles.
I really paid attention to details in this match, might I say.
Għal-Bjondi u koll. Ma kienx Bjondi, nej redheads.
There was it was a color fest. It was a color fest, I won't lie. The red hair, the chocolate syrups. If you paid really attention, if he's frame on the side angle when Jade is about to make a powerbomb slam, you can nearly see her areolas. Nearly. But I really paid attention.
Inti ġifieri jekk għad tagħmel action replays hekk fuq daw il-biċċiet.
Not at first.
U tagħmel slow motion.
It was live, I mean,
Mbagħad terġa' tmur ġifieri tfittxhom wara.
So the match was really good, I might say. The match was really good. I found the match, okay, it wasn't like a long match. Like they gave the right amount of time. I think the outcome was very obvious because I believe, don't get me wrong, Alba Fire and the other one.
Isla Dawn.
That's the one. The Scottish girls. There's no longevity towards them in the main roster right now, from my opinion. I think they're going to be more towards the NXT.
Taħseb il-lib għaw.
I think they're going to be freelancing. They're going to be freelancing through brands.
Vera nara ħassar stra.
It is, imma.
Naħseb bejn huma u Bianca u Jade in ring huma rajthom ferma ħjar. Bianca u Jade rajt kapaċi jagħmlu dawk l-spots il-kbar għandhom 4 combinations hekk vera bis-sens.
Yes.
Imma il-heel work tagħhom dar teqbad li l-nifsi qisin in-nota f'ġiex meċis tagħhom kemmu impressjonanti il-heel work tagħhom.
Yes, yes.
Jibdew jużaw l-extensions insomma ta' Bianca biex dejjem iżommuha iżomma mill-li tittegja, dejjem tibbildi ovvjament għal dik il-hot tag.
Yes.
Il-fans kienu on fire mbagħad għal Jade u jkoll għandha fire vera tajjeb. Ġifieri ifhem dik kienet l-ewwel match tagħhom wara li tilfu il-tag titles, jew kienet ir-rematch għaliha li jisom. Ma allura għal xiex telliftilhom it-titlu.
They were in Scotland.
So just biex isek tagħmel dik
Because they couldn't have Drew win a match over there, win a title.
Allura
They need someone to have, from that region to win something. So it makes sense in that manner.
It does.
Like for example, we all knew in Bash and Berlin, whoever Gunther faced, he will win, regardless. I mean, he might lose the match, but not the title. Like it was a given. So whenever you see when they go into these out of the US tours, one of the residents of that country will always win.
Mhux hekk kull hometown hero.
Exactly.
U issa Bianca u Jade jiġu two-time
Tag team champions. Yes.
Kien hemm two-time women's tag team champions qabel?
I believe there was with Sasha Banks.
Right.
I'm not sure with who. No, when it was first introduced, wasn't Sasha and Naomi?
Minix ċerta.
Well, she's irrelevant now, so.
X'qalilhom! Mela jan nimxu bil-mod lejn l-strap match. Strapping indeed, CM Punk u Drew McIntyre. Jien naħseb dik kienet l-aqwa match tal-lejl. X'taħseb?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Bej dik u Randy Gunther, to be honest. Randy Gunther kienet b'saħħitha. Ma Punk u Drew vera really lived up to the hype.
Yes.
Drew beda billi jattakka lil Punk waqt l-entrance, sets Punk up as the underdog from the beginning. Il-mod kif użaw l-strap ukoll vera kienu kreattivi biha.
Yes.
Ma kienux just eżempju għadin fir-ring biss, beda joħroġ barra u jisabtu fiha eżempju. Minnu tajta żelqitlu l-strap il-Punk. Żelqet l-strap. X'kien iktar? Mbagħad kien hemm dik l-spot fej Drew qabad lil Punk fuq spaltu u beda jdurhom u ieħor beda imisshom hekk ukoll, vera kienet tajba. Ħaġa l-notajt. Ma nafx hekk notajt di. Lejl aħħar tal-match, Drew ma ħareġ il-dil brazzoletta. U fejn ħareġha?
The less we know, the better.
Le, we saw it quite clearly minn fej ħareġa, bro. Defessi deħvel qaltiet, u ħareġa hekk, u tiffaħħam hekk. U mbagħad Punk wara l-match qabada u bisa minn.
We don't judge these things.
Like, bro, personal hygiene match. Njaf xraħat oġu bonkella, ja. Wara match bħal dik. Anyway.
Tejtalija għal-madof.
Mux vera, man.
Anyway, the match was really good. Again, good timing, well delivered, and the ending was good as well. But did you see the after review where Punk was being interviewed? He's like, I need to get changed, I need a beer. No, sorry, I need to get changed. Then he wants to watch the main event because after whoever wins, he's going after them. But I don't believe he's going to go after them the next, he obviously we have to see what happens in Raw. But I think this Drew and Punk is not over. There's going to be a rubber match.
Le, mux hekku, l-ewwel rebaħ Drew, issa rebaħ Punk, allura, però tittar kif ħatissetija dik il-match. Issa li jmiss Bad Blood, le?
Yes.
Alright. Punk kemm il-darba fotta lil Drew milli jerbaħ l-World Heavyweight Championship?
The last two pay-per-views.
Allura, Punk ħajmur għal-World Heavyweight, ifottih Drew, umbat jew Hell in a Cell, ma Hell in a Cell naħseb iktar għal-match li jmiss, umbat naħseb iktar Rhea u Liv.
I don't think they can deliver. Those two in Hell in a Cell, they can't. Rhea and Liv, they can't deliver Hell in a Cell, in my
Le,
opinion.
ma naqblux,
I mean, they can
vera, ma
deliver
naqblux.
my bed sheets, but not Hell in a Cell.
Jissa id-deliverja u lekku ħallina.
Anyway,
Le, jen naħseb il-li Rhea u Liv bħala level ta' performances naħseb il-li memx aħjar
I think
fil-women's
Liv,
division.
she's really improving right now. From
Ma
how,
anka in ring ġifiri.
Yeah.
Ring ila tajba.
yeah, she's actually improving, in my opinion, because before she was with that group, what was it called? So, well, with Ruby Riott and Sarah
yes.
Logan, was it?
Jidirli,
Yeah, they were together, and they were doing a good job. They were on a good streak as well. They didn't have a lot of losses, to be honest. How that trio didn't have titles on them back then. Okay, maybe the tag team did not exist for the women back then, but how? Anyway, the story is that Liv at that point, when I saw her, she was like a what's the name, Harley Quinn kind of thing, gimmick of going on for like a crazy girl, but then she became this kind of good girl, goody two-shoe kind of girl. And ever since her return from the injury, and when she's attacking Rhea, her heel work is really good. Her in-ring work has become better, and I believe she's heading towards a good direction. She maybe can deliver certain matches, but I still believe she's not ready for certain gimmickry matches.
I'm not sure. Jien kikun huwa ċans fuqhom għax storyline wise they really delivered. Match wise nistgħu nibdew nitkellmu fuq għax kienet il-match li miss Rhea u Priest versus Dom Liv. I think it really delivered
yes,
ukoll.
yes.
Mhijiex l-aħħar li rajnihom daw iż-żewġ timijiet kontra xulxin żgur.
Yes.
Semmew il-possibilità ta' Dom versus Rhea. Illi semmew fuq Twitter u Rhea għaltlu tipu bring it on.
I mean, the last time something like that happened, if I'm correct, it was China against Chris Jericho
China u
for
Jericho.
the Intercontinental title.
Kienet tagħmel ħafna mbagħad, mbagħad kienet rebħet l-Intercontinental.
Yeah, I believe China was the only female to win, Intercontinental title, and I believe there was another title she had won. But anyway.
Mhux forsi xi hardcore probably.
Again, the hardcore title became a joke back then.
Anka meta reġu ġabuh bħala 24/7 to be honest, iktar
The
kienet
24/7 was
was
a gimmick thing. It was a laughable thing. That's why it made sense to mix around. But the hardcore title back then was like whoever has the title, it's on 24/7. It didn't make much sense. But then when later on it was on the people like Rob Van Dam or The Undertaker, like, ooh, the 24 hours is gone.
Mbagħad irġejna bdejna bis-serjetà.
Exactly. And actually, that was one match that really delivered. Undertaker, Rob Van Dam for the hardcore title. Back then, it was top.
Dak iż-żmien speċjalment li l-bidu ta' Rob Van Dam.
Exactly.
Ta' kellu l-matches kontra Jeff Hardy niftakar kellu hardcore vera tajba wkoll.
The leather match with Eddie Guerrero, was it Eddie Guerrero? No, it was a unification title match.
U l-European,
European with the Intercontinental.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one as well. Anyway,
kellhom ħafna.
so, yeah.
Rajna il-crowd kienu vera wara Rhea. Bil-bidu tal-match bdew jittipaw.
Wouldn't you want to be behind her, man?
X'inhu?
Wouldn't you want to be behind her?
Behind her, in front, on top, on both.
Anyway.
Kollox. Kif trid.
In fact, the highlight of that match for me was not the pin. Was the head scissoring of Rhea on Dom in the corner, like how she when she got him in between her legs and with her facial expressions screaming, like I was like, at that moment.
Dejt werzaq moħħa.
No, at that moment, I wish I was Dominic.
Fair enough.
I bet a lot of men.
I think we all wish we were Dominic at that time. Il-pin ukoll mhux bitek jiġifieri fuq Liv. She's calling it a pretzel. Ta' SMS dik il-pin, the pretzel.
I mean, I had the freeze frame, but anyway,
Go
on.
Minja fil-computer tiegħek, il-hard drive. Ajma, Rhea rnexxiela fl-aħħar terfa' idejja fuq Dom kif qed issemmi inti dik il-
Head scissoring.
Il-head scissoring. Ajma. pop enormi fl-axħar rija f'qarajt il-ġimgħa l-oħra. Fuq Raw kienet tatu jidir li xi clothesline u riptide ukoll
JD.
l-JD, l-JD, u issa fl-axħar refet idea fuq Dominic, pop enormi, ġabet il-pin fuq Liv, allura jisa pattitiela tal-li ħadet it-titlu, pero issa by right rija għanda t-challenge għal Women's World Title, Bad Blood, jien fl-opinjoni tiegħi għanda tkun Hell in a Cell. Jekk mhux Hell in a Cell kieku x'taħseb, ma nasibx li għanda tkun straight up one-on-one match.
I mean, a no DQ match makes sense.
Ma kieku tagħmilha hekk submission match
I'll tap easy.
You'll tap vera.
For them, yes.
Le anke kun I'll just choke me out Mbagħad da fil-għodu nkun content m'hemmx tapping. Main event Gunter versus Randy Orton.
That was a physical, brutal, yet well-delivered match.
ħafna.
I don't think I recall ever seeing Randy Orton in a match like that before, in the sense like the physicalness of the match. Like remember, like when Gunter gives you those hits, like, I mean, we know how things are, but those hits are not, you know, light. They are very heavy to take. So I don't think Randy has been in such matches. Maybe, like, I'm talking non-gimmick matches. Because like one of Randy's, at least my favorite match of Randy, which was a gimmick, was the Hardcore with Mick Foley back in 2004. That really elevated him in that manner. But like physicalness, maybe Undertaker, but with Undertaker you're always safe. I can't recall.
Always safe, insomma, sa' kemm ma taqbiżhom lux, but jaqleb shoot. Imma le kienet match vera tajba, l-psikoloġija wkoll tal-match vera ġbitni, il-fatt li alright, you're in Gunter's hometown, but Gunter's the heel, u n-nies ħobbuh ir-Randy wkoll. Allura isek kif ħad ippjana l-match u kif rajta. So throughout the match, Randy qisu iktar ħar l-rwol tal-heel. U beda dejjem jaħdem fuq leads il-leminija. Istinti fil-pro wrestling is-soltu dejjem fuq ix-xelluk taħdem, sakemm inti xejn taħdem fil-Messiku jew m'hemmx każ bħal di fejn iktar tagħmel sens li taħdem fuq il-lemin għal xi xi chops bil-lemini tiegħhom. Dik hija isa l-main weapon ta' Gunter jekk taqtalu chops. Isek tajtlu again his biggest weapon.
In fact, you notice, like, towards the midway till the very end of the match, Gunter couldn't use his right hand.
Beda jgħid bix-xelluk.
That's because he actually got injured during the match. There were some reports out earlier today that he got injured.
I think he's a really good worker.
No, he is.
Għax huma bdew mill-bidunet. Issa jew forsi he actually legit injured his right hand and they changed the match on the fly. Imma throughout the match, Randy kien jgħid kollu għat target jgħidu l-lemina. L-leminija. Jiġifieri jien iktar rajta bħala tant kemm huwa kapaċi jisselja Gunter u tant kemm jagħti każ il-psikoloġija li forsi kien hemm minħaseb illi he actually injured his arm. Għax imbagħad lejl aħħar l-ewwel beda jteħħeġġew bix-xelluk. Imma he wasn't connecting as hard. Allura għal daqshekk issa ħantik bil-lemin beda jtielu bis-saħħa mbagħad beda jisselja idejh. U anka u rebaħa mbagħad bil-rear naked choke, bil-sleeper.
Which is his finisher.
Imma ħara Gunter fil-verità għandu finisher. It's one of his many finishers.
I mean,
he has bil-powerbomb,
exactly. He has a powerbomb, he has the splash from the top rope, and he's got the sleeper. It's like he's got the variety of arsenals to have a finisher, but
jekk ma jidħolx mill-bib jidħol mit-tija, jekk ma jerbaħlek b'mod jerbaħlek mod ieħor.
Unless he digs a hole through the floor and comes up. But anyway,
Undertaker kien jagħmel hekk.
Even Kane.
Anke Kane imma fotokopi tiegħu.
Yeah. But again, like Gunter, like he has many finishers in his arsenal, and for him to finish it with a sleeper, especially in Randy Orton, like you don't see Randy Orton tapping out or something like that. In fact, he passed out. So I think Charles Robinson did a good job in that match because there were many times during the match where they were outside of the more than a 10 count, and Charles Robinson, even the commentators, they were saying like Charles Robinson has matched many years and he has loads of experience. He's allowing these wrestlers to wrestle, which is good.
Le, mux ekku inti ħadd ma jrid jara main event title match Joe Berlin u l-champion Awstrijak tispiċċa count out. Le, vera għamel xogħol sew hemmhekk ukoll. Jien oġbitni il-fatt li juża l-sleeper għall-ewwel konna għaxettiku għax qed ngħid tipo għandek idek tipo imweġġa.
But again, if you notice, that's how he sold it as well. So he's showing in the match his hand is hurt. And usually other opponents, they tap out or go to sleep early. Exactly. But the situation, exactly, like he had to go back and forth on Randy to get the proper sleeper. In fact, in the end, after the split, when Gunther was giving him the sleeper, Randy lifted him and they fell and they dropped him backwards, and that's when Randy was free. But Gunther from the being flat, he got up and grabbed him straight and pulled him backwards, when Bob Backlund used to do with chicken wing hold. So that made perfect sense.
But he rubs the legs.
Exactly. Like that kind of maneuver towards the conclusion was very good. It worked perfectly into the psychology and the storytelling of the match, because especially with his hand hurt and how you made that happen, it was perfect ending.
Le, ħafna. Plus tipproteġi l-Randy li he never tapped out, he didn't get pinned, he just passed out.
Exactly.
Għalek vera taħdem inti il-rear naked choke.
Of course.
Pala finish. So, thoughts on the show overall?
Solid pay-per-view. Solid, very solid.
Kif tqabbel il-fans Ġermaniżi ma l-fans ta' Puerto Rico, ta' Franza? Where do they rank? Jina li l-Franċiżi.
The French.
ħadd
No one can beat the French. Then for me, then after comes Puerto Rico. I'll take Germany and Scotland the same level right now. Then underneath them are the Americans, because they'll give you those gestures, but so far the European, I mean, we can't rule out Australia.
Australia wkoll kienu.
They did a good job, but France, Lyon, what they did, that was just another level of like. So far, the European fans are delivering more.
Let's go.
Because for them it's something rare. In the sense, like, you don't have pay-per-views coming to Europe a lot. For example, like, when was the last time you heard a Maltese guy going to a pay-per-view all the way to the States? Not as much. Exactly. And now they're doing at least 2 or 3 pay-per-views in Europe on a regular basis. So we had Bradley, who went to Germany. We had another 2 who went to France. And another few who went to Scotland to watch. To watch
accessibbli
it's more accessible. Yes. So they're trying to give their. WWE is giving accessibility to their fans. They're always in North America. They're always in South, and maybe South not as much. They're going to Asia because of what's that pay-per-view that happens once a year?
Wrestle Kingdom.
Is it Wrestle Kingdom?
New Japan.
No, not New Japan. Saudi Arabia.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel. So you have Crown Jewel in Asia. You got the Australia recently as well, and Europe and is increasing. So
Tejt eventually jekk jaqbdu jitturjaw ma like full time jew ikollhom xi brand minnhom. Ngħidu eżempju SmackDown ikun purament jitturjaw l-Ewropa. Jew joħolqu brand oħra separata bħalma kien hemm NXT UK.
But it's financially impossible.
Financially m'għandhom dak il-flus kollha.
I mean, you have to keep in mind. I mean, okay.
Mid-domanda liha.
The demand is good, but too much of something can be bad for you as well.
Inti bus tmur all out mal-ewwel, fair enough. Imma you're going to orate, you're gonna ease into it.
But then again, look at it this way. WWE is breaking all these records at all these events. It's because they're giving the opportunity once or twice a year for you to come and attend. if these opportunities are available on a regular basis, they're not going to break those records. They're not going to have those attendance. They're not going to make financial.
Forsi ma jiċċarġjewx daqs kemm qed jiċċarġjew issa, fair enough, bħala ticket prices, għax huma records dak li qed jiksru għax it-ticket prices qed ikunu mola s-sema. Però jafu l-attendances, alright, mhux qed ngħidlek stadiums imma 20,000 or 10-15,000 seat arena li jkunu fuq Raw SmackDown.
But then again, it will be a heavy burden on the wrestlers as well.
Dik li għandek għax għandek ħafna nies imbagħad Amerikani jkunu l-bot minn familthom.
Exactly. I mean, in that argument, Europeans are away from their family as well.
Imma tittara l-ammont kemm hemm ammont
Exactly.
Amerikani versus Ewropej. Jew forsi f'dik il-brand ġist ikollok ir-wrestlers Ewropej.
I mean,
there was hemmhekk tintroduċi għall-European Championship, bro.
The thing is, there was talk, a rumor from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, that they were considering of opening up a WWE NXT Europe home base. Since they had scrapped the NXT UK, they're going to create a European home base where a lot of wrestlers from Europe can come for tryouts and everything. But so far, it's still in talks. Nothing has been fruitful yet. Maybe that could be a branch out, but I can't.
Jista' jkun forsi jkollhom eħeġ verżjoni.
They have one in India as well. if I'm not
L-Indja,
mistaken.
la fl-Awstralja wkoll. Spiċċaw naħseb tagħmel sens illi hemm
Australia, but then again, Australia is close to India,
so
so.
vera jisom jingħaqdu hemmhekk imbagħad.
But I think that if that rumor actually becomes true and they open up a European home base, that could reach another level.
Le, mhux hekk hu iktar opportunità tal-għina wkoll ta' Pro Wrestling
In fact,
Malta.
I believe this is my opinion. I believe they took it out of the UK, the NXT UK, because UK. I mean, I don't want to go into politics. Maybe because UK is no longer in EU, so it doesn't give them that open, openness for traveling.
Iktar diffiċli biex iġġib il-wrestlers
Exactly.
hemmhekk u
I mean, they will have the 1 or 2 shows here and there. There's no problem. But if they want to branch out to a bigger business mind, to branch out to all these wrestlers in Europe, you have to do it. It makes more. I think Germany.
Probabbli l-Ġermanja dak għandhom
mentioned.
relazzjoni tajjeb ma' WXW
Yes, of
speċjalment. Jiġifieri probabbli jekk għandhom jagħmlu x'imkien l-Ewropa nimmaġina li kien il-Ġermanja.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Maybe the future we'll see some Maltese wrestlers.
Min jaf l-aħwa.
Yeah, maybe someone from Standard.
Maybe some from second to none.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It still exists, ħallik doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, second to Zibben anyway.
Isma' li ma nerġgħux nibdew, alright?
Yeah.
Mela guys, dak kien l-episodju numru 4. Numru 4, stran?
And half of them with me. You're welcome.
Nofsom ma dawn, sfortunatament. Le. Apparti kollox, nerġa' ngħidlek Dawd, grazzi tal-li jena għajt magħna.
My pleasure.
L-ġimgħa d-dieħla għandna nerġgħu nkunu lura ma' Bradley, però forsi.
Yo, is it true? I heard a rumor about Bradley, man. He actually had a chance to interview someone and he forgot to press record. Is this true?
Ma kontx nsemmija Bradley.
Is this true?
Ma kontx nsemmija Bradley, però xi ħadd gżak, mhux jiena imma hu gżak, alright?
Press a button.
Immeħe bro, jekk tkun ħadd tagħmel intervista please fos record. Però irnexxielu iġib shout out minn Carmelo Hayes.
Yes.
Ġab shout out minn CM Punk.
Yes.
Ġab shout out minn Gunter.
Did he really just tell CM Punk? Punk. Xi pastizzija, Punk. Punk. Isma' Bradley, man. Issa għettaj, Lampuki ċerna 550. What's wrong with you, man?
Literalment, man.
I just like that so Maltese.
Ejja, bro. Imna laqallu shout-out Malta, ma xallin għastipo għarrejt, jgħid għarrejt il-Maltinek ġifiri. Tajt, vera rappresentajtna tajja Bradley, istra prosit. Ma, issa nerġaw naraw kil-ġimgħa d-dieħla Bradley laħwa, nerġaw naraw lilkom il-ġimgħa d-dieħla, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Before I cut you off.
Kullum kien edin.
You know what?
Cut me off.
Is that fight still gonna happen? Brooks, Envy, leather match?
Is it gonna happen, bro?
This is still happening. Because
Shit.
I sent a memo and everything, but I still haven't replied. But
Inti
you know what?
ġifieri m'għandekx il-kukki illi tmur kontra Brooks, mhux inti qed ngħidlek għalla Envy, il-klient tiegħek Envy, m'għandux il-kukki jmur
It's
kontra
not
Brooks.
about, you know what? You leave Adam's cookies alone,
Eh.
okay? But remind the fans where can they watch that match.
2 ta' Novembru l-aħwa. Monte Cristo, ascend to glory. Kyle Brooks is gonna ascend to his glory. He's going to retain.
To a glory hole.
Wow.
And can you advise the people from where they can purchase the tickets?
Ejdilhom int, ejdilhom int.
Why didn't mint?
Ejdilhom int.
Well, they can go to the main website of prowrestlingmalta.com.
pwmalta.com. Straxej minn kapaċi tagħmel, men.
Easy. I manipulated you and got you to say it. Easy. See? You don't focus.
pwmalta.com, guys. Ħajkonna leather match, ħajkonna l-Kyle Brooks kontra Envy tal-istandard tiegħu. Apparti dik ħajkonna tag team title match. Jiena Ħames u Jekk ħanittimjaw għal kontra
The standard.
kontra l-istandard. Kontra Owen Blanco, kontra Fabio Ferrari u mandom it-titli jien u Quinn. Rridu nġibu t-titli tagħna lura.
So 2nd November.
2nd November, Ascent to Glory.
Like, subscribe, and share, please. Appreciate it, guys.
Jekk joġobkom, guys. Thank
you very much.
U narawkom il-ġimgħa d-dieħla.
What's the name of the show?
One Fall!